morning, everyone, and welcome to your Come Up channel. Today's guest, we have Sam Thompson. We're going to have a conversation with Sam Thompson here. And if you like what you see in this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you don't miss your Come Up. Good morning, Sam. How you doing today?
Good morning, Nathan. Hot shade.
Hot shade. That's that caffeine talking. It's circulated already.
I'm starting to wake up a little bit. Good morning to you, sir.
Pretty good. Just what's up with the shades this morning?
Oh man, you know, you're rock star status, so I had to put the shades on. You know, if you're going to be around the Hot Shade family, you got to rock it out like they do. So this is a tribute to you. I don't normally wear shades on podcasts and interviews, but he's a rock star, so I gotta, rock star it up for you this morning.
I'll make sure to edit it real good, but off camera, he also this edit wasn't right. He's gonna go Tony Montana on me.
No, it's all good. Just all family love. It's good to see you this morning.
Likewise, man. Thank you for coming. For people that don't know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Man, I'm a child of God. I'm a man of faith.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman and a father of 3 and a husband of 1. So, I'm just grateful for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Excited for what's happened this year. It's been crazy, but I'm being rebuilt.
There you go.
I'm being recalibrated for you IT guys out there. I'm going through a transition. So metamorphosis, I can keep going. Just tell me when to stop. But I'm a humble man and honored to just be here in this journey in life. So just many things.
That's awesome.
As I'm learning.
That's awesome. And with humility comes wisdom.
Yes, sir.
So, with pride comes your downfall. So,
oh, yes.
So now stay humble and just let it be in some way.
I've been humbled. I always believe if you don't humble yourself, you're gonna get humbled. So I'd rather do it myself than let the world humble me. So trust me, I've come full circle in that regard. So just grateful for every blessing that comes my way and every blessing that doesn't. Everything's not meant for you. So
That's right.
I've learned that through life, through trial and error. So we're just grateful for life.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
At what point in your life did you discover this is what I want to do in my life? Because there's people out there that don't know what they're meant to do. We all have a purpose in this life, and some may or may not have discovered that. So when have you discovered yours, and what was that turning point?
Man, that's a great question. I'll say this, Nate. I never knew what I wanted to do growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't.
Same here.
I'm a grown man. Still don't know. I think that's the journey, the purpose of life is finding your purpose, your gifts. Mm-hmm. And I'm starting to identify some of my gifts and some of my passions now through this COVID pandemic.
Right.
But I've always loved serving. I've always been a natural server of people, of community. I've always enjoyed being around children, keeping that youthful spirit, being around young adults, and just pouring into them. Mm-hmm. So I'm transitioning a little bit in life. But as far as, and we'll get into that, mm-hmm. but as far as when did I know what I wanted to do and who I wanted to be, I never knew. Mm-hmm. I never knew, and I still don't. I'm like I said, I'm going through a recalibration. I'm shifting, and everyone's using the word pivoting. Mm-hmm. I'm going through all that right now. So it's amazing that you're never too old to find that gift and make some changes in life and
right.
in profession. But I've always been like, I had dreams, but I also just learned to trust God some time ago, and what he has for me is bigger than anything I could dream of. So I'm starting to seek him more and more and what he has for me, not just my own passions and gifts. So I'm learning to match all of it together and align it
right.
with his word and his will, but still going through that discovery. Mm-hmm. A lot of people, I envy those that knew what they wanted to do growing up. Some wanted to play ball, dance, sing, mm-hmm. Be a scientist, be a doctor. I envy those that knew early where they wanted to go in life, and I just never knew.
Right.
I still don't.
Well, at least you're going forward with it, and it's one of those things. In order to know where you're going, you got to know where you've been, mm-hmm. and to get closer to what you want to do, mm-hmm. you have to know what you don't want to do, and you have to try some things out.
I can tell you what I don't want to do easy.
Well, I can tell you what I don't want to do either. Eat your wife's oatmeal raisin cookies.
Oh,
hell no! What you don't want to do. Let's start with that.
Well, what I don't want to do now is work and there's no shame in this, it's an honest living, but I don't want to do the traditional 9 to 5. I don't want to be on anybody else's clock.
Right.
I've been remote in a sales arena for the last decade. And once you go remote and you're home and you don't have so many distractions from an office setting, there's pros and cons with that. Meaning, meetings to have meetings, and you pull in all these meetings and people knock on your door, and it takes a while to get back to the zone of work and getting things efficiently done. So working by myself, working in a lone setting for the last 10 years, I've been able to just crank stuff out and then take a break. Crank stuff out, go for a jog. Crank stuff out and do me. And so that balance of life, the work-life balance, I've been able to master that. Going back to a 9 to 5 in someone else's company and those things, I don't want to go back to that.
Yeah, I wanted to tell the people how we met. I was at the Marriott, JW Marriott in Palm Desert, renting cars for Hertz rental cars behind the counter. And Sam, you were an account rep at the time.
Yes, I was.
You were corporate at the time, but we all have our start.
Yep.
And hey, I gotta eat, so you gotta pay. So that's how we met. But I made a foolish mistake that I talk about in How to Find You in the Come Up that that got me terminated where it hurts, but it led me on a different path. It was a blessing in disguise, but I had to humble myself for what I did. But how did you go from corporate with Marriott, and then you're a father of 3.
Yeah.
You a husband. So doing that jump from a steady paycheck to, I'm going to take a chance to roll the dice, it's a bold move. What was the genesis of that? What started that?
Wow. Great question. I'll say, Nate, I've always been preparing for a life after Marriott. I don't know why. I always felt that instinct in me, that drive to one day, who will I be without this great company? And so I started connecting with people via LinkedIn. I remember when LinkedIn first came out, and all these new platforms, Facebook, it was the old school MySpace, all these social media outlets, we didn't really know how to monetize it, how to use it. It was all like the Wild Wild West of the internet.
Right.
It just opened the whole world up, internet period, but the World Wide Web. But those platforms connected you with people that you normally wouldn't meet unless you're face to face. Now, coming from the hospitality industry, it puts you in many arenas that you normally wouldn't meet certain folk.
Right.
And so I've always loved people. I've always been in love with people and our differences, and that's one of my gifts. I've accepted people for who they are and love being around all races and colors and creeds. But back to your question, I got on LinkedIn and started connecting with people across the world, across the country, and I said, wow, what could I do in my life that will allow me to stay connected with these people and do things with them and for them and build a bridge some kind of way? And my job with Marriott at the time was very specific. As an account executive, they had me managing a certain number of accounts. And that was it. Like, that was my book of business. Don't call no one outside of these accounts, and that's your job. And so I felt painted in a box.
Right.
And so I planned and mapped out over 8 years, 6 to 8 years, what I would could do, what I would look like outside of that job. And so a couple of guys called me one day on a Friday, and I was actually looking to leave Marriott. I interviewed at some of the competitors, but it still wasn't going to put me in an arena that I really wanted, but I wanted to at least get a title of leadership or something to that extent. And so a couple guys called me and said, hey, we're building a company, we want you in it, we can't do it without you. So it was one of those opportunities where you can be a leader in another company or you can be a leader in your own.
Right.
I'd rather have the latter.
Yeah.
I'd rather have the opportunity to blaze my own trail. I've always thought about that. I've always kind of planned on my own and didn't know others thought of me in the same light. So 2 other guys and myself, we branched out and left that corporate job and said, I don't want to look back and say, what if? If I fall on my face, at least I can say I tried to do something on my own. And it'll be 5 years next month since we left Marriott and built my own enterprise.
That sounds like something you're very passionate about, right?
Oh yeah, because it's people. At the end of what I do is serving, and so being a man of faith, I serve in my church, I serve in the community. So to be in the hospitality arena, still serving.
There you go.
So nothing's changed for me at work or outside of work. It fits my DNA perfectly.
That's awesome, man. You know, about COVID and this pandemic, I mean, I feel personally that it's pivoted a lot of people in, it's kind of like reinventing yourself or adding to your repertoire.
Absolutely.
I mean, unless you're Jeff Bezos, Walmart, or KFC or something where, hey, you know, we just gonna make chicken and sell stuff. You gotta buy it anyway.
Yep.
You know, you ain't much pivoting except maybe we need more staff or something. In my case, with writing these books, I didn't really, before April of this year, I think that was 1 month or 2 months of the first shutdown, I didn't have a social media presence and I didn't care to do video. And it was just like over time where, okay, I should have a social media presence because that's a free website. How are you going to build a website, an author website without some kind of presence? So learn that skill. And then after TikTok and learning that 80-90% of the internet, it's all video now.
Yes.
Where in the early 2000s it was all blogs, so people want to write, and I'm like, I'm a writer. That's my gift. I want to write. But you can pivot the writing where you script your video.
Yeah.
And then people are more entertained by video. It's more endearing. It's more trustworthy. And I'm looking at myself on camera like, that's a big head on camera. But
Yeah, you're crazy.
But no, but it's just like, oh, just get over it. You know, just do it.
Yeah.
So, how have you had to adjust during COVID? Because we all got to earn, we all got to eat. And, you know, being a man of faith, I love 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 10. If you don't work, you don't eat. So, and God don't bless no mess either.
No, it does not.
So, how did you have to adjust or pivot after the Rona?
You know, the Rona's still going. And I think a lot of times we're in a pressure cooker to have all the solutions.
That's right.
To have all the answers. And the method to my madness, and this is just me, I'm not perfect, no man is. I've honestly done absolutely nothing when it comes to the business of trying to outsmart Corona, outsmart this pandemic.
Right.
This is a time to sit and assess and wait on God.
Right.
I think the method to my madness, as I just alluded to, is to do nothing. Sometimes we just want to have solutions and again, solve the big riddle. And this is above my pay grade to solve and fix. Now, we all want to recalibrate, pivot, and find other things that we should be doing. I am working on myself with certain skill sets, other passions I have, some more of my creative side, taking a graphic design class.
That's a high income skill that's always in demand.
Yeah.
It'll always be in demand.
I've also gone out and got my own state license for life insurance and focusing now on the securities license and getting those personal skills so I can be a blessing to community, to people, to those that need protection. So still I'm in this arena of creativity and serving and providing solutions, but I haven't used any of it yet. I'm waiting on God to show where I should be positioned so I can use it effectively and in the right manner. And so I really have focused on self, but also am digressing in trying to force it. You know, so during this pandemic, everyone's rushing to find something new to do, and you should.
Right.
But for me, I'm sitting back, waiting patiently for his guidance on where I should go, how to go. Just like with this interview, I didn't know this was coming.
No, I knew.
You knew, but I didn't, right? So when you asked me, it's like, wow, this is perfect timing because I've finally got some things aligned and can speak to it a little bit. So his plan is better than mine, so I'm waiting for his plan. I've gone out and done it my way, y'all, for so many years, and you get by. You'll get some wins in your, you get a few feathers in your cap when you're doing things and you're doing it with integrity and all those things. But I've learned to maximize it through God's lens, not mine.
Exactly.
So not to get too preachy, but that's just how I am now. That's what I've grown. I've grown in my faith in that regard. So I'm trying not to solve COVID. I'm trying to take advantage of the time we've gotten back in life.
If you try to solve COVID, you're going to look like a Karen on the internet and blow up in the wrong way.
Well, it's a pressure cooker because we got to provide. You got to take care of your family if you're blessed to have one, or take care of yourself at the very least. But there's a big but in that, because never in our lifetime, in our generation, has the whole world stopped. And then you look back at everything you did in 2019, 2018, 2017, the last 5 to 10 years, and we've just been going. And I finally got a chance to take a breath and take a break and enjoy it.
Right.
And be home and not on the road solving all these other problems and providing all these solutions.
Right.
So, it's a long-winded answer but it's a long-winded question. COVID is so many layers, and so that's what I've done, is little to nothing, and then also pick up some new skills for my toolbox.
There you go. And then I think I was thinking about what you said when I asked you about how do you figure out your purpose, what you would love to do. You love to serve.
Yes.
You love people.
Yep.
I mean, that's very wide. And in a way, Sam, you probably are doing your purpose, because when you find your passion and you do your passion, that leads you into your purpose. We just don't have it clearly defined. Only God does.
Yeah.
And I had no idea 3 months ago I was going to start a YouTube channel and I was just hesitant on it, like, I don't know, Lord. I mean, and then it just hit me where it was in my heart. And the way God's talking to you is when it's positive, it's loving, and it's just okay. When anytime it's a negative thought, like what if I fail? What if people laugh at my big head on camera? I would stop on that. It's just the enemy trying to doubt you. Because when God starts blessing, then the devil starts messing.
Absolutely.
So that's how like, damn, why am I going through so many trials with this? Well, that must mean you about to come through your breakthrough already. So you better keep it going.
Yeah, don't beat yourself up over your big head, man. You look good on camera. You look good.
I was joking off camera. You go back, damn, that's a big head.
Having ourselves,
we joke like that.
But I do respect your sense of humor, because you don't take yourself so seriously.
No, I don't.
You're not full of yourself. There'll be some that wouldn't do anything like this because they do have some insecurities about how they look or how they feel about themselves. So I love it that you just going forward, big head and all. You make
big head. You gonna love this big head. This YouTube, but we have to charge you a membership to embed this big head on this guy.
You too much, bro. You too much. It's all good.
But back to this. What's a message you want to convey across that you want to say before we start wrapping up? Anything like on life, like something you wish you knew now or you knew back then that you know now? Anything of value, or that you just want to say off your chest?
You know what? I've come full circle with that question, and here's why. I've done interviews for magazines and things like that, and when you meet so many different people, they all have a different take on that.
Right.
But one thing I've learned through my own journey and others' journey is I wouldn't go back and tell myself anything outside of maybe encouraging my younger self.
Right.
That's about it. Just to keep pushing. That's it, because everything you went through and endured in the past has brought you forth to where you are today.
Exactly.
So if you change anything and get in the DeLorean and go 88 miles per hour and go back to 1955.
I don't know how many times I've watched that movie.
Right? You've all seen Back to the Future. And if you go back and tweak things, the outcome of the future could be drastically different. But you might cheat yourself of a lesson that you were meant to go through. We're not everything ain't silver spoons, and for many of us it's not silver spoons. No. But even if you get a gold paved road in life, you're gonna still go through something.
Right.
And so all I would do is go back to my younger self and just say, stay encouraged, young Sam, stay motivated, keep pushing. You're going to make it. Even now at mid 40s, I would tell my future self to tell me now, keep pushing. I'm not done. If you're still here, y'all, God has a purpose for you. So just try to align with His will, His word, and stay positive on all the things you're seeing around you. It's all not what you think. It all works together.
I hear you.
The good and the bad of all of it. So I would just keep telling my younger self, keep going. Because there was times where I went through depression. I went through life will mess with you. You know, you can laugh today to keep from crying, but I laugh today like, wow, I went through this and this. And I say, even if you're going through hell, there's people praying to be in your shoes while you're going through hell.
Exactly.
There's people praying to be in your position, even though you're praying to get out of your situation. Think about that. Like, people are praying to have the life that you have, and you're not even happy with it. So, because it can always be worse.
That's true.
So I would just tell my younger self, man, keep pushing. So y'all out there that need that encouraging word, something to motivate you, get up. This ain't the time to die. This ain't the time to be woe is me. If you do feel bad on yourself, have your pity party for about 5 minutes.
Have a coffee.
Or
Corona beer. Corona beer.
No Corona.
Okay, come on.
You know, have a coffee. Talk to Big Head Nate.
That's right.
Get on a YouTube channel.
This is
my man. His family's amazing.
Thank you.
And keep pushing. You wake up every day and the sun's on your face. You're blessed.
That's right.
So keep pushing.
I think that was touching. That was motivating, because I think what messes people up is comparing everyone else's highlight reel with your behind the scenes story. You don't know what they went through to get there. And
so true.
You know, I agree with you 100%. And it's just, you know, when you do you and it's meant for you, it'll come to you in God's timing. And just have a little bit of faith. A little bit of faith moves mountains, you know?
Man, you know, you brought up something key. When you talk about comparing your journey with someone else's, you got to remember, God's tailor-made something for you. So for that specific a la carte order that's for you, it's going to take time to make that, bake that. It's not meant for anyone else. I can't wear your size shoe.
Exactly.
It's your size.
And you can't wear my hat.
It's his size. So y'all wait for your tailor to make and craft and cut and sew your gift that's just for you. And so I'd rather have something that's tailor-made for me than trying to keep up with the Joneses and the Taylors and the Smiths and anyone else in life. I'm waiting on my special order. Right. So just keep riding till your tailor's done crafting out your suit for you, your gift. Exactly. It's just for you, baby.
And even then, it's almost like, okay, Lord, I made it. No, yeah, you might have, but I got more for you to do.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's that Ecclesiastes scripture. I'll caption it, where invest in 7 or 8 ventures, because you never know what disasters may lie ahead. So it's kind of like, you may have, let's say you have steady income from a job, but you also want to do something on the side, like take 10% of that, put it into, like you said, you're going to be investments and insurance. So you want to put that part of that into like a growth fund or some kind of fund or index fund or whatever you're comfortable with. Seek a professional with that. And it says in Proverbs that you should seek good counsel before you start going into that. And then, you know, maybe add more to your skills, add more to your value. There you go.
Seek good counsel. You know, and truth be told, you motivated me to go into the financial services as well when you wrote your book.
Oh, thank you.
Because I'm like, I didn't know you had that skill set. I didn't know you were aware of multiple ways to earn money. And so you're a jack of all trades yourself. So I was like, I've been focusing on this hospitality industry and arena for over 20 years, and other opportunities have come my way and I've sneezed at them. And so now I've diversified everything. I got my hands in a little bit of everything that I want and like to be part of, and I'm just making sure I'm doing it the right way before I go public and viral with it. But
I do want to end it with this, though.
Okay.
Before you bite off, Nate said, and the Bible said, do 7, 8. Let give me all of it.
I don't want all of it.
No, not all at once. Not all at once.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't get this big head out of birth, but so aside from that, you master one, and then after that, you add to it, and then you master that while mastering the first, and then you add to. I mean, it's a process that through instant gratification, we want it now.
Yeah.
But life is a journey, man, and you know, it's kind of funny like how God told David, you're going to be king over Saul, but, you know, Saul had to go through his stuff before David can get through king. And at one point, David had every right to question God, like, wow, he about to kill me and I'm on the run. You telling me I'm going to be king? What is wrong with you? Then when Saul relieved himself in the cave and David's like, all right, it's my time. Well, you know, it is saying not to mess with God's anointing. That's God's anointed, so I ain't touching it, you know. So it's just trust, because what we go through now is nothing compared to the glory later.
Absolutely.
So no, I love the message you said, and, you know, thank you for coming in today. I mean,
Honored.
You know,
honored, man. It's a pleasure. It's an honor. You know, going back before we cut this off, when I met Nate at Hertz, you don't know who God's going to put in your life for any period of time.
Exactly.
So Nate was hooking me up with cars. I'm going from the desert to OC, desert to Arizona, desert to Vegas, all up and down the coast. And then we developed a chemistry and a friendship right away. And then 10 years later, we're on the podcast.
Yep.
So if you just treat people with kindness and compassion, you develop friendships that will be a blessing to you in return, or you might be a blessing to them. And so Nate used to hook me up at Hertz.
Yeah.
I might have been the reason why he got fired from hooking me up.
Trust me, it was the opposite sex.
But who knew that God knew? Mm-hmm. And so there's blessings all around you. You just have to keep your eyes and ears open. Mm-hmm. And respect the people around you, because they're around you for a reason.
Amen.
You know, there's many people you walk by in the mall that you will never know, and they're not in your life for whatever reason, but the ones that are, don't take that for granted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't take the people around you for granted. There's amazing people God's put around you for His glory.
Right, exactly.
And so
got to give that man the glory.
We talk scripture, we talk word of God. I've been around this family for a decade now, and he has one of the most amazing families you could be a part of. I envy. His family gets down. Rest in peace to Mr. Hache. They welcome my family in like we were long lost cousins or something. Yeah. So we've been breaking bread for a while. So congratulations on your show.
Appreciate it, man.
Y'all get these books. They are a blessing. And he has more coming. We have more coming. So This ain't the last you're going to see me on here, y'all.
I might have to have this chocolate back next month.
Whenever you need me.
All right, you guys. Thanks for watching. Take care.
God bless.